Stop blaming your genetics. Stop accepting that getting older simply means going bald and that there is nothing you can do about it. The brutal, painful truth is that your hair isn't just falling out because of bad luck or because your father lost his hair. It is falling out because it is being starved. Right now, as you sit there, your body is making a calculated biological choice. It is cutting off the supply lines to your scalp to save energy for your heart, your lungs, and your brain, simply because you are not feeding it the specific fuel it needs to keep those hair factories running. You are experiencing a nutritional famine on your own head, and you probably don't even know it. Most men and women are unknowingly poisoning their own hair growth potential by ignoring the fuel gauge. We tend to think of hair as merely cosmetic, a vanity project, but biologically, it is one of the most energy demanding tissues in your entire body. When your body thinks it is running low on resources, hair is the very first thing it dumps. It's a survival mechanism. The hidden culprit here isn't just time, it's a specific nutritional deficit occurring at the microscopic level of your scalp. But here is the good news, and it is the reason we are talking today. Hair follicles almost never die immediately. They go dormant, they go to sleep. And if you know the chemical code, the specific nutrients that act as the on switch, you can wake them up. You don't need a laser comb, you don't need a hair transplant, and you don't need dangerous prescriptions with scary side effects. You need to go to the grocery store. In this conversation, we are going to walk through 6 specific powerhouse foods, fuel sources, really that have been scientifically proven to halt hair loss and kickstart the regrowth process. We aren't talking about old wives' tales. We are talking about changing your biology from the inside out. By the end of our time together, you will have a clear, delicious roadmap to restoring not just your hair, but your confidence. Before we dive into this menu for restoration, I would love to invite you to join our community here. If you appreciate health advice that respects your intelligence and focuses on the unique needs of our generation, consider clicking that subscribe button. We share the kind of senior health tips that doctors often overlook in rushed appointments. And I am curious, where are you watching from today? Let me know in the comments. It is always amazing to see how far our health conscious family reaches. Now, let's get into the first item on our list. And this one is arguably the most critical because it addresses the very structure of the hair itself. We often skip past this in the breakfast aisle or we worry about cholesterol, but for your hair, this food is liquid gold. I'm talking about eggs, but it's not just about protein. It is about a specific nutrient called biotin. You might see biotin plastered all over shampoo bottles, claiming to thicken your hair from the outside. But the honest truth is that washing your hair with biotin does almost nothing because the molecule is too large to penetrate the scalp effectively. You have to eat it. Biotin is essential for the production of a hair protein called keratin. Keratin is the bricks and mortar of your hair shaft. Without it, the structure creates a weak, brittle strand that snaps off before it can ever grow long. The science here is incredibly compelling. A study published in the International Journal of Trichology analyzed a large group of women complaining of hair loss and found that a staggering 38% of them had a diagnosed biotin deficiency. That is nearly 4 out of every 10 people suffering from hair loss simply lacking this one B vitamin. Imagine your hair follicle is like a construction site. You can have all the workers ready to go, but if you don't have the bricks, the keratin produced by biotin, nothing gets built. The structure collapses. Eggs provide a potent bioavailable source of this building block. But here is the key detail that most people miss. Don't just eat the whites. The yolk is where the biotin lives. If you are sticking to egg white omelets, thinking you are doing your heart a favor, you are actually starving your hair. So starting tomorrow, swap that sugary cereal or plain toast for a couple of whole eggs. You are essentially restocking the brickyard so your body can start rebuilding the walls. Moving seamlessly to our second nutritional powerhouse, we need to talk about the environment your hair grows in. If eggs are the bricks, this next food is the irrigation system that keeps the soil fertile. We are talking about spinach and other dark leafy greens. Now, I know eat your greens is something you've heard since childhood, but for hair loss, the stakes are completely different. The magic ingredient here is iron. Iron is the vehicle that carries oxygen to your cells, including your hair follicles. When you are low on iron, your body goes into triage mode. It steals oxygen from your hair to keep your vital organs functioning, and your hair literally suffocates and falls out. This condition, known as telogen effluvium, is one of the most common causes of thinning in seniors. This isn't just speculation. The link is incredibly strong in the medical literature. A pivotal study published in the Journal of Korean Medical Science found that iron stores, specifically measured as serum ferritin, were significantly lower in patients with pattern hair loss compared to those with healthy hair. It's a direct correlation. If your iron is low, your hair anchors are weak. Imagine trying to grow a garden in dust. Without the oxygen and nutrients carried by iron-rich blood, the roots just dry up and let go. Spinach is also packed with folate and vitamins A and C, which help produce sebum, the natural scalp oil that acts like a conditioner, keeping hair from becoming brittle. However, there is a trick to getting this right. Plant-based iron acts differently than meat-based iron. It needs a helper to get absorbed. So the actionable advice here is to add a handful of spinach to your diet, but pair it with vitamin C. Squeeze some lemon on it or eat it with strawberries. This boosts the absorption by up to 3 times. By doing this, you are ensuring the oxygen supply lines to your scalp are wide open. Now, let's drift into the waters of our third solution. We have the bricks and the oxygen, but now we need to talk about inflammation. As we age, chronic low-level inflammation can attack our hair follicles, almost like a slow-burning fire that singes the roots. To put out that fire, we need fatty fish, specifically salmon, mackerel, or sardines. These fish are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids. Your body cannot make these fats. You have to eat them. And they are miraculous for the scalp because they are potent anti-inflammatories. There was a fascinating study published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology that really highlighted this. Researchers gave women a supplement containing omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, as well as antioxidants. After 6 months, nearly 90% of the participants reported a reduction in hair loss. And incredibly, they saw an increase in hair density and diameter. The hair didn't just stay, it got thicker. Think of omega-3s as the oil in an engine. Without it, the friction and heat, the inflammation cause the machinery to seize up and break down. By introducing these healthy fats, you are lubricating the hair cycle, allowing the follicle to transition from the resting phase back into the growing phase. If you aren't a fan of fish, walnuts or flax seeds are decent alternatives, but fatty fish is the premium fuel here. Aim for 2 servings a week to keep that scalp inflammation cooled down. If you are finding these tips useful so far, and if you are starting to see how your diet might be the missing link, do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us get this information to other seniors who are struggling in silence. Next up, we need to address the protection of the hair you still have. It's one thing to grow it, it's another to keep it from withering away under the stress of the environment. This brings us to sweet potatoes. You might think of them as just a Thanksgiving side dish, but they are a heavy hitter for hair restoration because of beta carotene. The body converts beta carotene into vitamin A. Now, every cell in your body needs vitamin A to grow. And since hair is the fastest growing tissue in the human body, it is hungry for it. Hinanve hair follicle structure. Shutterstock, khamfa. But vitamin A does something else very specific. It helps the skin glands make an oily substance called sebum. We mentioned sebum briefly with spinach, but vitamin A is the master regulator. Without enough sebum, your scalp becomes a desert, itchy, dry, and flaky. A dry scalp produces frail hair that breaks before it can grow long. However, the science goes even deeper than hydration. Research published in the journal Experimental Dermatology has shown that retinoic acid, which is a metabolite of vitamin A, is actually crucial for regulating hair follicle stem cells. It signals the stem cells to get to work. Imagine the stem cells are the workers sleeping in the break room. Vitamin A is the foreman blowing the whistle to get them back on the assembly line. A medium sweet potato contains enough beta carotene to provide more than 4 times your daily vitamin A needs. It's a safe, natural way to get this nutrient without the toxicity risk that can sometimes come from synthetic supplements. Bake one up for lunch. Think of it as turning on the grow signal for your stem cells. Let's move on to number 5. And this one is often called nature's butter. It's the avocado. While we've talked about fats with fish, avocados bring a different weapon to the fight: vitamin E. Vitamin E is an antioxidant powerhouse. Why does that matter for your head? Because your scalp is constantly under attack from oxidative stress, things like sunlight, pollution, and just the natural aging process. This oxidative stress damages the cellular DNA in the hair follicle. Vitamin E steps in like a shield, neutralizing these attacks before they can kill the hair cell. The data on this is incredibly encouraging. A study published in Tropical Life Sciences Research involved participants taking tocotrienol supplements, a potent form of vitamin E. The results were stunning. The group taking the vitamin E saw a 34% increase in the number of hairs after 8 months, while the placebo group actually saw a small decrease. That is a massive difference. It is the difference between a receding hairline and a recovering one. Imagine your hair follicles are like delicate paintings in a museum. Vitamin E is the glass case that protects them from the dust and hands of the public. Without it, they degrade. With it, they remain vibrant. Avocados are also rich in essential fatty acids, which further support the skin barrier of the scalp. You can slice half an avocado onto your salad or even spread it on toast. You are literally eating a shield for your cells. Finally, we arrive at our 6th food, and this one is vital for keeping the hair anchored firmly in your head. We are talking about oysters, or if you don't like shellfish, pumpkin seeds. The magic mineral here is zinc. Zinc deficiency is a well-known direct cause of telogen effluvium, a form of hair loss where the hair shuts down and falls out in clumps. Zinc plays a crucial role in hair tissue growth and repair. It also helps keep the oil glands around the follicles working properly. But there's another reason. Zinc is a hero for men and women dealing with thinning hair. It inhibits the production of DHT, dihydrotestosterone. You may have heard of DHT. It's the hormone byproduct that shrinks hair follicles, making them so small that the hair eventually stops growing entirely. Zinc acts as a brake on this process. A study in the Annals of Dermatology measured serum zinc levels in patients with alopecia areata and found them to be significantly lower than in healthy controls. The study concluded that zinc supplementation could have a positive therapeutic effect. Think of zinc as the maintenance crew that tightens the bolts. If you don't have enough, the machinery gets loose, the hormone DHT wreaks havoc, and the hair falls out. Oysters are by far the highest source of zinc, but a handful of pumpkin seeds is a great daily snack that acts as a natural DHT blocker. It's a small change with a profound hormonal impact. So let's take a breath and look at the menu we have built. We have eggs for the protein bricks, spinach for the oxygen transport, fatty fish to put out the fire of inflammation, sweet potatoes to signal the stem cells to work, avocados to shield the follicles from damage, and oysters or pumpkin seeds to block the hormones that shrink your hair. This isn't just a diet, it is a prescription for regeneration. It's about creating a biological environment where hair has no choice but to grow. I know that changing your diet can feel overwhelming, especially when habits are set deep. You might be thinking, can I really cook spinach every morning? Or fish is expensive? That is a valid feeling. Start small, pick 2 of these foods, maybe the eggs and the pumpkin seeds, and commit to them for a month. You are taking control back from the aging process. You are telling your body that you are worth the investment. Remember, your health is not a lost cause. It is a garden that has been waiting for the right water and sunlight. By watching this, you have already taken the first step, which is arming yourself with knowledge. Now, I have a question for you. Which of these foods is already in your kitchen, and which one are you willing to add to your grocery list this week? Just tell me in the comments below. I read them, and I'd love to know what your first step will be. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe, because your health is worth fighting for. And I want to be right there with you as you win that fight. Here is to your health, your confidence, and a fuller head of hair. I'll see you in the next video.